Welcome to the Prep Pigskin Report podcast, hosted by Papa Pig himself, Paul Rudy.
PPR Podcast number 36 now underway. Everybody knows Burt Grossman. My name is Paul. We are wearing garb from the Prep Pigskin Report Pro Shop. These are we'll be showcasing items. That's a very nice little deal. But
Thank you.
PPR, PrepPigsReport.com, folks. Stuff's going fast, but you have such a crush on the guy in the middle. You've been pushing our guest since week 2 of the PPR season.
I think it was week 1. Look at him. He looks like Maluma. Who wouldn't have a crush on him? Come on.
All right, introduce him then.
Dom Nankil, junior quarterback from Mater Dei High School, state champs, CIF champs.
You know what the most impressive part of that statement is?
What?
Junior,
yeah.
How are you so good so young?
Really just all the work I put in. Day in, day out, I always work out. I go to the park with my dad. I throw. And then Coach Eddie, our quarterback coach at Mater Dei, every Wednesday and Thursday I go throw with him.
How long, speaking of Eddie Armand, how long have you been working with him?
Since he got at Mater Dei.
And before that, you were East Lake Panthers, correct?
Yes.
We had Major Givens on last week, and we talked about some of the guys: Jerry McClure, Chris Snyder, Marcus Radcliffe, Trey Edwards.
You were on
Puka, Major, yourself. You guys didn't lose much, did you?
Never. There was never a team that we lost to in San Diego.
Guy, how could you? You had a college team. Jeez.
Yeah, it was crazy. And at that point, it was Jerry's first year playing football, so he was playing D end. Major was playing linebacker and running back. Jonah was playing O-line. Trey was a better running back than he was linebacker at that time. So it was
no kidding.
It was crazy.
No kidding.
So did you ever? I mean, you had like Trey Edwards, who, I used to be with these like Panthers, so I watched him since he was 2, and then you had Major Givens. Did Clark Moses ever let you throw the ball, or did you just hand it off to them all the time?
It was a good balance of both, especially because we were young. So I wasn't really too worried about throwing the ball. It was more about just winning the football games and getting to the Q Bowl. I don't know if it's still called that, but it was like the Super Bowl for the little kids.
Yeah, I still think I think it exists.
Yeah, the Q Bowl.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But who would have thought that would be such an indicator of, because think about all the things that can happen to you along the way, that you stop playing sports, this, that, and the other thing, you move away. COVID. The fact that you're all still around playing at a high level, I mean, that's like a Halley's Comet. It doesn't happen very often. That's pretty impressive. Dom, I got to be honest with you. I knew the name. I did not know your game until Burt dragged me down to see the Helix ball game. And that's when, to me, as accurate as you are a passer, it's your mobility that makes you so dangerous. Could you, 1, do you agree with that? And 2, where did that come from?
I do agree with that. And a lot of it comes from me just playing other sports. When I was younger, I always played baseball and basketball. So when I was playing basketball, it would just help me with my footwork going side to side. And then playing point guard, you got to get your team involved. So really it was just get around the defender, don't get touched, don't get the ball ripped from you, and then get your teammates open. And I feel like that translates to my quarterback.
And I think you had 3,200 yards last year, 37 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And even when I watch you play, I guess now I'm going to sound like a fanboy again, thanks. I've been to a couple. I've never seen you throw a bad pass. I mean, I've seen drops, but I've really never seen you throw a bad pass, to be honest with you.
Well, how many drops can there be? You got 8 D1 receivers on your roster? I mean, talk about those guys a little bit.
It's crazy. I mean, you can't really tell who our best receiver is. I mean, obviously you see Jerry's hype, and all around he's our best receiver. But then after that, they're all the same. I mean, Slim, Cruz, Rollin, it's Jalen. It's crazy.
So how do you do that? You have 7 D1 guys at wide receiver. There's only 1 football. I know how parents are. How do you keep everybody happy? And they blame you or Verlaine if they don't get the ball?
They don't blame anybody. They're the most unselfish people on our team, really. I mean, they know what our job is and what our goal is for the season. So they really just stay. I mean, they all had 25-plus catches, so no one ever complained.
Well, that speaks to you and your ability to distribute, too. So don't sell yourself short. But it also helps to have a championship state ring on your finger. That sort of eases the complaining a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That year was crazy. I mean, from the beginning of the season, that was our goal, and we accomplished it.
So next year, you guys, big thing, you moved up from 3 to Division I. Everybody has you guys playing in the Open Division. You open with Carlsbad, then you play Red Mountain in Arizona, who's real good, and then Lincoln. That's a pretty rough schedule to start out with, don't you think?
Yeah, but we're prepared for it. I mean, since the beginning of last season, we've always wanted to play good teams to prove ourselves. And I feel like after last season, we really proved ourselves with winning the state championship, so we can compete with anybody.
You think that Lincoln Mater Dei game might be the PPR game of the week?
It could be. Could be. Is that at Lincoln or Mater Dei, by the way?
It's at Lincoln.
It's at Lincoln?
So how, I mean, that game's been talked about for
Years.
Assuming it happens, how many college players are going to be on that field?
Oh, I don't even know. It's too many.
More than 20,
It's
right?
really a college game.
Yeah, it'll be a college game, basically. So, I mean, we talk about it because we're old and that's all we do is talk about it. But do you guys talk about it?
You mean by like us and Lincoln players?
Yeah. I mean, showing you? I assume you both think you're the better team. So I mean, is it something you think about, or is it just so far off in the future that when you get there you'll deal with it?
It's a little bit of both, especially because we know a lot of the Lincoln kids playing against them growing up in youth football. So I feel like we kind of go back and forth a little bit, and we wanted to play them last year. But it's also one of those games that you have to go one by one, and then once you get there, you get there.
It's also, I mean, I don't want to go past the open up with Carlsbad. I want to see him and Sayin go at it. That's going to be interesting. You might have 2 PPR game of the weeks in a row. What do you think of that?
Yeah, but I'm only going by Dom on what I see on social media. It seems like everybody's talking about that game. I mean, I mean, you see the buzz, right?
Yeah, I go on Twitter try to go on it every morning and see Mater Dei versus Lincoln week 4.
So in other words, I'm seeing a lot on social media, the quarterback skill camps, the 7-on-7. I think you just won the Red Zone Elite MVP a couple weeks ago. How many of those do you do? I mean, is it every weekend pretty much that you're doing something, a showcase now?
Yeah, mostly every weekend for 7-on-7. I haven't had a lot of time to go to a lot of skill camps, like just based on quarterbacks, but a lot of it has been 7-on-7 where we go with McCossie and compete in different cities.
I saw some, I can't remember which entity it was, that ranked McCossie. He's now doing, this is the sign the end of the world is near, Dom. We're now ranking 7-on-7.
17.
You guys were ranked 3rd, though. 760 was ranked 1 with, I don't know, I can't remember who was ranked 2.
Yeah.
Was it Dream Chasers? Or
no,
what?
they were 4th, I think.
So to be ranked that low, does that upset you?
Nah, we don't even care about none of that. We just like going out into different cities. That's why we go out to different cities. We don't really care about San Diego that much for 7-on-7. We play all those kids for real football and in the season, so we like getting out and playing against other kids.
That sounds expensive to go on the road to play 7-on-7.
You got to raise money, sell chocolate bars at Vaughn's.
How do you do that? I mean, does the school pay for that, or do all your kids have to pitch in? We
all got to pitch in.
We had Major on last week, and he was talking about he was happy he finally got his 24/7 height and weight updated. They still have you at 150. Are you,
yeah, you're way more than 150.
Yeah, you're still at 150. I looked today. How do you change that? Do you have to contact them? Because I know you're more than 150 pounds.
I don't even know. Coach V said they changed it to, I think I was measuring at 6'1", 170.
No, they still have you 150. I looked this morning.
Oh, that's crazy. I got to tell Coach V that then.
But Major just got updated, too. They had him at like 160 or something. They had his like 8th grade.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you saw the podcast, but Major has got a major build now. I mean,
he's huge. I remember playing with him in youth. He was still a little he was a solid build. But when I watched the podcast last week, he was, oh my God.
So tell me how that works. So I know Puka Noah was on your East Lake team, and obviously he's going to Helix because they all go to Helix. His dad coaches there. But did you guys try to get Major to go to Mater Dei, or was he just set on Steel Canyon?
We never really made anybody come to Mater Dei. It was really all of the East Lake kids. We just wanted to go out and show that East Lake Panthers was the best U team and just put all of our players out and get them to college.
Speaking of which, one of your counterparts, Jax Leatherwood, just right before we started this, I saw that he committed to Nevada.
Committed to Nevada. Mm-hmm.
When are you going to commit?
whenever I get the chance to.
I mean, how many schools are interested in you right now?
A lot, actually. I take 3 visits next week. I go to Idaho Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday I go to Northern Arizona. And then that weekend I go to UNLV and play in the 7-on-7 tournament up there.
How much weight have you, because I mean, just looking at you, I mean, you're thin, but it looks like you put on about 20 pounds from just last season. Is that about right?
Yeah, I started my sophomore year at like 150, and now I'm up to 170.
And you're gonna get bigger, you're gonna get faster, you're gonna get stronger, and I'm sure the phone's gonna ring even harder and harder. Just know, no pressure, but if you want to, we'll host any kind of announcement from anywhere you want to. If you're interested, just putting it out there.
Always,
okay?
always. You guys show a lot of love, so.
Yeah, if you want, you'll be welcome in here, and it's. We open it up to boys, girls, any sport. I just want to say this really quickly. If you want to commit on KUSI, the door is always welcome. But we have one rule. Nobody can know. It's got to be between you and your family. If it's already out there on social media, then we can't do it. But enough said. Back to the interview. Dom, describe the aerial attack. Do you guys consider yourself a spread offense? Do you guys consider yourself, I don't know, label your offense?
Oh, which is electric. I mean, there's nothing else you really say about it.
It really is. I mean, you guys can ring the bell.
It's really just like, if teams play pass, I mean, Nico and Matt get the job done running the ball. Our O-line does a great job run blocking for them and also protecting me to spread the ball out to our best athletes. But, I mean, if you put too many in the box, I mean, I don't really know who would do that. But then we just run by you and make you play outside the numbers.
This is weird watching you too. It's like Frank Sinatra interviewing Maluma. It's just weird to me. It is. I keep looking up there. I'm like, this is weird. But all right, I'm gonna ask you this question. We ask everybody. I'm sorry, Frank. Hold on. What's in Verlaine's backpack? You could tell me. Come on.
I don't even know.
Nobody knows. How come
Is there anything
somebody
in
has
it?
to know?
Have you ever seen him open it?
No.
So that's just
Never.
like he wears his wallet on the outside or something. That's just it's his signature deal.
We try to ask him, Coach D, what's in the backpack? I don't know.
Does he ever leave it around where you can look through it, like see if there's Pringles or
No,
anything?
it's always on.
It doesn't come off his back. He's calling plays during 7-on-7 with the backpack on. He calls plays during the season with the backpack on. I don't know what he does with that backpack.
That's our feat this year. We have to find out what's in that backpack.
You know.
And tell me a little bit.
Distract him.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah.
He probably sleeps in it. Tell me a little bit about Coach Joyner. I coached with him for a while, so what do you guys? What's his deal down there? I mean, it seems like you guys all love him, and he's like one of the guys. He's really young at heart, obviously, but tell me a little bit about him.
Coach Joyner's a great coach. I mean, when he needs to get on you, he's going to get on you. But then he's also one of those guys that's like, he cares for you, and it's more about what's outside of football and then what's inside of football. Because, I mean, everybody sees what we do Friday nights, and nobody sees what we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
So
he was just got the NFF college or Coach of the Year.
Oh, did he?
Coach of the Year, yeah.
Did a great speech, talked about you guys and how important you are in his life. So I thought that was pretty cool. Dom?
I texted him this morning to ask about some inside info on Dom. He never responded to me. So,
well,
just so you know, just tell him thanks when you're over there.
Hey, Dom, brothers, sisters, tell us about your family.
my mom, my dad, and then I have an older brother who plays baseball at Cal State Fullerton.
Are you a baseball player at all?
I was, but then it got to the point where he was so much better than me. So I was just like, you know what, you got baseball. Let me stick to football and basketball.
So he basically chased you out of the sport?
Yeah, because we're super competitive. I mean, when we were younger, we didn't really fight about anything. We just went to the backyard and played one-on-one in basketball.
Now, what else you do? So what are your hobbies?
I like fishing and playing basketball.
Fishing.
Fishing? Where do you fish?
Mm-hmm. I fish at Imperial Beach with my grandpa.
And do you catch anything ever?
Sometimes we don't even throw the line in the water. It gets so dead there, and it bothers me.
I'd be
so
a little
I'm super
reluctant
impatient when it comes to that.
Would you put anything on the grill coming out of it?
You know, it's fun. I went for a walk down there. You know, at the very end, and you walk to like the border wall, and they have all those sea snails that are on the shore. And I was going to eat one or take them home, and the guy's like, "You don't want to eat these." Right? You know what? He's like, "Go north about 10 miles."
But let's talk a little bit about the South Bay as a region as it relates. I mean, you guys now. I mean, For the longest time, it was Cathedral and maybe St. Augustine and Helix that dominated the conversation. When I first came to town, Oceanside was, but they've sort of dropped to the wayside. I would say that as a program, you guys are now considered upper echelon elite, right?
No, they are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are mentioned in the same breath as Cathedral, and does that put pressure on you?
No, especially because, I mean, we say this all the time. We put the pads on the same way they do. So, I mean, if they want to play us, we'll play them just like any other team.
And it's hard because we all talk about Cathedral, but I think the great thing about Cathedral is they do it every single year. And like with you guys, I mean, you have so many D1 guys and it's such a great class. How do you replace all you guys when you leave next year? Is it something they can continue?
Of course. I mean, you can replace anybody. That's really how I see it. Because the 8th graders that play for McCoskey, super, super good team. And then Mac and Buxton, Isaiah Buxton and Anthony McMillan, that class of 2024, they're easily the 2 best players in that class.
So what you're saying is the pipeline is well fueled. Well fueled. Well then, because. All right, so again, just dreaming here. Mm-hmm. That Lincoln Mater Dei game is obviously on the schedule already, but a Mater Dei Cathedral game, would that sell some tickets?
That would. That maybe that you'll see that in the Open Division.
Could that be an Open Division final, or are we?
Are you guys playing Saints this year?
We do.
So are you guys? I mean, you see the big hubbub about the new coaching staff and everything else. You guys worried about them at all or no?
No.
It's going to take a while to get players, right? I mean, the coaches are one thing. You can get the coaches right away, but it's going to take a while to set up the farm, so to speak.
Yeah. And you brought up down south. I think people forget down there that there's so many good players. I mean, you see when you go to school, you could probably throw a baseball and hit Olympian, East Lake, Otay Ranch, and Mater Dei. I mean, there's 4 schools that are just within like a half a mile radius. It's crazy how they split it up. There's one school down there. I think you guys would dominate every year. There wouldn't be another public school.
If you could take the best players from all those teams.
And they're all within a mile of each other. It's crazy.
Wow. All right, so Dom, as you get closer, are you anxious to get to the next fall, or would you rather just kind of finish this school year and worry about that in due time? Or are you anxious?
I'm excited for next season.
I bet.
I want to get to next season. It's especially coming off that last season. I feel like it's just playing with all my friends and really my brothers. It's amazing. There's not a feeling like it.
All right. So besides yourself, because I ask everybody this, and every week I got to tweak it just so I get the right answer. Give me your top 3 quarterbacks in the county for next year besides yourself.
Julian Sand, Jax, and Sam.
Yeah, that's mine too. See, I finally got my answer.
You know what you're speaking of. All right, so then help me out. Help me out, because we are going to have as bad as it was this year picking the Silver Pigskin podium, it's going to be even tougher this year. Obviously, as you know, you're on our watch list. We have a rule. 1 kid from every school gets onto the podium that we want. If there's a second kid we want, they have to get on through the fan vote. That's just how we do it, so it's not just one school that's being represented. Maybe it's not fair. Certainly, Chris Olave would tell us that we messed up. But it's just how we do it.
Was Alex Smith on there?
No. Okay. I'm sure he's not happy about it. In fact, he still doesn't talk to me. Dom, who do we pick for Mater Dei, in your view? Put on this silly white shirt and be in my chair. Who do I pick? Do I pick you? Do I pick Trey? Who's the guy that gets the automatic berth from Mater Dei onto the podium?
You pick the whole team.
You can't even trap them anymore.
You could pick easily 3 guys from that team.
Yeah, I'd say more like 6.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying if you just wanted to, you could take receiver.
For my vote, I voted for you to be on the podium last year.
You have an in because
I voted you last year,
and he whines so much that you don't ever want to have to.
You don't want to deal with it again.
But I mean, Trey White is.
But you still haven't sent me that autographed picture you told me to send me from my wall.
I mean, I want you to think about that, because that's going to be tough. And you could make the same argument for Lincoln. They're going to have a bunch of guys, starting with
Roderick.
Robinson. All right,
Major.
so.
And that was the thing. We had that last year. I think last year was the first time I was watching that the underclassmen might have been better than the actual senior class when we were voting. I mean, we had the underclassmen on there, and they were they were as good or better than the 5 or 6 we had on the podium.
Fair enough. All I ask, Dom, is if you are on the podium, come to the gala, because it's going to be no good if the chair's empty.
No, I will. 100%.
Right. All right, well, young man, we've taken up more time than we planned. We're trying to keep these things to 15 minutes, and we're already at the 18-minute mark. So thank you for what do you have to do today?
I have a workout later on tonight.
All right, so that's all in your docket?
Mm-hmm.
That's
all. I mean, we're on spring break, so I'm trying to relax and also keep my workout in with my spring break.
What shirt are you wearing? What is that? Stand up a little bit.
It's our state championship.
Very stylish.
That's the one last question I have.
Yeah, okay.
Because you have Mario Williams on your staff. Do you guys ever, is there ever talk about that state championship team against last year's state championship team and who would win? Because I know you guys would blow the doors off that last state championship team with Verdell and those guys, but do some of the guys actually think they could beat you guys?
Mario tries to tell us every day that they would beat us. I tell him that he's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even think that'd be.
Like, we tell him this every single day. If you take CJ off of that team, we beat them by 40. If you take CJ off that team and you take Trey off of our team, we still beat them by 40.
I'd agree with that.
I'll tell you who doesn't agree with that is CJ.
And Mario Williams. Yeah, neither one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say it to us. Let's have CJ. We had him on this very podcast saying there's not a chance in hell you guys could beat him.
Yeah, he actually said they would beat you guys.
No, never.
Yeah, we hung up on him after. I hung up on him. I stormed off after that.
Well, young man, thank you so much. This will not be the last time we chat, okay?
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Are you kidding me? What a pleasure.